Good morning. Let's start out this morning by cultivating some mind-body awareness. If you like, go ahead and come right away to a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. And let's take a few moments to just check in and see exactly what is going on for us this morning. Physically, emotionally, mentally. Just close your eyes. We'll take an enormous inhale and a long, slow, relaxing exhale. And as you do it again, big inhale, lift the sternum, extend the spine, tuck the chin slightly. Now as you exhale, just relax into this moment, but don't collapse your body. And once more, same thing. Big inhale. Long, slow, extended exhalation. And now begin to wander around inside. Let's just look at the nervous system. Let's look at the seat, our emotional seat, wherever that is for you. If someone asked you now, how are you? And if you closed your eyes and took a moment to really examine that question, how are you? I notice that my heart rate is up a little bit. I have a little bit of moisture in my fingers from being a little anxious, which is normal. I go through that every time we start this meditation in the morning as the numbers count down to 7 o'clock. I have that, moment of becoming a little nervous. And then as soon as you all start showing up, I just relax. But check in. Is your body just waking? Are you already engaged with the day a little bit? Are you a little elevated? Are you a little delevated? Let's take a few deep breaths, doing that 3-part yoga breathing. I think we did it sometime last week. Big inhale, starting with the belly, filling all the way up to the collarbones, and then exhaling as slowly as you can. And letting that experience of exhalation feel like melting into the space around you. Big inhale again. And exhale, dissolve. And as you recognize an emotion coming up, maybe you're feeling a little angry, maybe a little afraid, maybe a little uncertain, anxious. I got a couple emails and texts from people yesterday that said, oh, I had a complete meltdown this weekend. Or, oh, I just fell apart yesterday. What does that feel like? We are all grieving. We're grieving for our lost way of life. And the teaching is, why are we suffering? Because we expected things to be permanent. And nothing in the world of form is permanent, as we're all learning big time now. So take a big inhale and just breathe in that impermanence. And yet we're all looking for something permanent, something we can count on to be there for us all the time. Hell or high water. And that can only be found in the stillness of your pond. Can only be found through insight, through turning inward and connecting with one spirit, connecting with the true self. Some of you might say connecting with God. However you refer to this one consciousness, we kind of have to make our way through the bush and beat back the weed vines and find the trail. Find that trail in. So let's take a couple quiet moments to just look in and see what needs attention. This is cultivating mind-body awareness. What is your mind thinking about? What emotion is coming up? And how's that affecting you physically? See if you can find that connection. And as we watch, we begin to see that our unwholesome thoughts and fears lead us eventually to suffering of mind and body. And our wholesome thoughts lead us to greater peace and to freedom. And as we practice, we establish some kind of stability and focus, and we begin to see that this really works, that if we cultivate positive thoughts, it makes us feel better. We're happier, we're more peaceful. And that when we allow our fearful and negative to run away with us or carry us off, it's almost as if we're kidnapped by an emotion. We struggle and kick and fight and feel justified, and yet it still leads us to be unhappy. So just watch, become more clear. When I taught in New York City for 22 years, I used to tell my beginning students, this only works if you do it. That's the tricky thing about all the aspects of yoga. It's a great practice, but you've got to do it. That's why coming together with the Sangha as we're doing on these mornings, helps us to stay motivated, to stay disciplined, helps us to feel like we're working on ourselves and moving toward greater peace with intention. And we're not swept up in the fear and the overwhelming, sometimes negativity of the news. And maybe you had a really good day yesterday. Maybe you have a sense of satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. I walked 6 miles yesterday. I was a little tired, but I had a good sense of accomplishment. And it elevated me enough to tip me over into waking up with a good positive feeling. Grateful to be alive and committed to working on myself again today. So check your posture one more time. Wiggle around if you need to. Come once more to a comfortable seated position. We'll start our formal practice. Again, we start with 3 bells, end with 3 bells. Couple interval bells to call you back to home base. And select your home base for this morning. Maybe you're going to just connect to your breath. Maybe you're going to connect to a place in your body where you feel the movement of the breath. Maybe you're going to use our mantra in and out. Pick something, stick with it, and let's begin. Scanning for any tension, neck, mouth, shoulders, arms. Let your shoulders be soft and relaxed, sitting tall. Sit with an interested and relaxed posture. So we're fully invested in this practice, this moment. Effort and ease. Effort to focus, to keep the attention on your breath. And ease, surrendering to whatever comes up. Thinking. Come back. In and out. you've been distracted by a thought or you've been carried off on a whole long narrative about what could happen or should happen or might happen, watch it float by, smile. Remember, we're not trying to stop thought. We're not trying to judge ourselves. We're just here, watching, getting to know ourselves. Come back to your breath. Over and over and over and over again. In and out. If you're waiting for something really interesting to happen, let this moment be interesting enough. Surrender to this moment, whatever is coming up for you. Impatience, peacefulness, good thoughts, bad thoughts. Just watch without judgment. Continuing to sit for a few more moments, keeping your eyes closed. So important to just ease out of this place. And let's look at how we're feeling now. Are you feeling more peaceful? More calm, more centered, more grounded, more grateful? Or less so? Is your heart rate slower? Your respiration slower? Or are you feeling more awake now? More tuned in? What keeps us going is noticing that what we're doing is working, is making us more happy, more peaceful, more grateful, more able to function with effectiveness. Go ahead and take your twists and your stretches and flexion and extension of the spine. Rubbing your hands together. If you like, resting your eyes in the palms of your hands. You can come out of this however works for you. I like this idea of slowly opening my eyes and letting the light back in. And I see snow on the trees. We had some snow last night. There can be an end to suffering. That was the third noble truth in Buddhism. There can be an end to suffering. When we let go of the afflictive emotions, when we're caught by the afflictive emotions, we feel tight and constricted. And the moment we let go, our mind is released. We have a taste of freedom right in that moment. And the freedom is real. It's our own experience. It's not something we read in a book or it's something we're supposed to feel. It's a real moment of liberation. Every time we become aware of being lost in thought, as opposed to every time we become aware of being present, as opposed to lost in thought, we have an experience of that moment of freedom. So I wish you many moments of freedom today, whether you're cooking breakfast or chopping carrots or going for a walk or working on your computer or following a Zoom class. Thank you for being here this morning. Happy to see you all. Thanks, Rosemary. Thanks, June. Thank you, Nancy. Be well, stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for being here. Hi, Brooke. Hi, family. Hi, Janine. Oh, it's hard to turn this off. I love connecting with all of you. Good. Light and floaty is good. Love you too, Nydia. Thanks for being here. Love you, Nancy. Thank you, Derek. Thanks, Stacy. Glad you're feeling better. Doesn't it feel nice to see all the people we're connected to? It's like sitting in a room with a lot of wonderful spirits. Don't forget to breathe.